Like most deals, it began with a handshake. Grabbing my hand and pumping it, Captain Fuzzy Fur smiled and said, "I knew you were hooked from the very beginning. Welcome to Prairie Fire. Welcome to the club." I didn't even know what it meant to be a member. Yet on that final day before my initiation began, my mind reeled as I contemplated the seemingly unscripted providence, the strange sequence of events that had coalesced to carry me to the brink of becoming a Prairie Fire fac, whatever that might be. Brooding about my decision to join the club, I sat restlessly in the bar at the Da Nang Officers Club, the air in the room heavy and filled with cigarette smoke. For more than an hour, some major, a navigator on an AC-119K gunship from the 18th Special Operations Squadron, regaled us with his combat experiences in Southeast Asia or his adventures aboard KC-135s in the Strategic Air Command. He used sweeping phrases like nuclear deterrent, operational readiness inspections, or command and control relationships. What did any of that have to do with Vietnam? When he had verbally won the Cold War, the major turned to me and asked, "What do you do?" I started to reply, as honestly as I could, explaining that I was a forward air controller, a Covey fac. But for some reason I also found myself telling him that I had just joined a clandestine organization called Prairie Fire. As soon as the words were out of my mouth, I realized instinctively I should have kept quiet, that this gunship navigator had no need to know that piece of information. The worrisome thing for me was that, while the major had no need to know, I presented an even more pathetic paradox, because while I desperately needed to know, I didn't have a clue. I had just volunteered myself into a top-secret mission about which I knew practically nothing. Fuzzy Fur's deft job of salesmanship represented all there was to go on. Fortunately, the moment passed. The major just grunted at my disclosure, and within a few seconds he went back to telling us how he was winning the war in Vietnam, impressing on all present the fundamental soundness of his reasoning. Feeling more than a little boxed in, I kept thinking to myself, what a squirrely way to end the month of June. Other confusing thoughts bounced around in my head as I recalled the strange events of June 28th, just 2 days earlier. I should have suspected something when Captain Frank Fuzzy Fur, commander of the super-secret Covey Prairie Fire flight, headed straight for me as I walked through Covey operations. The Prairie Fire types rarely associated with the rest of us. They even had their own mission briefing room in the intel shop, a top-secret place we could not enter. Judging from Frank's expression, I instantly suspected he had something more than idle chatter on his mind. Fuzzy Fur was a short, stocky man, built like a fireplug but solid as a rock. The front of his half-unzipped flight suit revealed a gray T-shirt with a picture of an OV-10 and the slogan, "Fly the friendly skies of Laos."